Now welcoming our next podcast guest, Raelynn Henson. She is a 21-year-old student at Central Methodist University and is actually the first personal friend of mine to have on the podcast, so I'm extremely excited. Raelynn, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. How was your day?
Just busy. I had a lot of schoolwork, and I celebrated my friend's 21st birthday today, so that was really good.
Oh, shoot, that's fun. Can you please give us a little background on who you are and where you are in life right now at the moment?
Okay, so I'm Raelynn Marie Henson. I'm originally from around Clever, Missouri. I graduated from Clever High School in 2016. I have two younger siblings. Right now, I attend Central Methodist University. I came here on a volleyball scholarship. However, I did decide to retire my sophomore year.
Shoot, I didn't even know that. I didn't know you played volleyball.
Yeah, I played volleyball all throughout high school and college, and now I just play rec league, so I'm an intramural champ.
Yep, same here. I am retired.
And then I was president of my sorority here, Delta Pi Omega, and sweetheart for Phi Delta Theta, Sigma Alpha Chi. So that's really cool. I love my boys.
And what's your major again?
I'm business management, and then I'm getting my minor in psychology.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Because I love the study of people.
Oh, yeah. No, that's amazing. You'd be the perfect person for it, too. So we're going to dive right into your story. I personally love your story. It's one that hits really hard, and it is hard to hear. But ever since you told me, you've been a huge inspiration to me, honestly. That's why I'm so glad you came on.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. So what you went through growing up was a case of sexual abuse, and it was with your stepdad, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yes. Okay. And so before trouble started with your stepdad, how did he treat you? What's your earliest memories with him?
So my earliest memories, I'll kind of just give you a background because
Yes.
my life kind of jumped around. My parents split up like within 6 months of me being born, and then my mom, I don't really know the full story, but something happened. She met my stepfather, Jason, and they started dating. My grandparents said, no, you need to move back to Texas with Raelynn. We want her to have a good life. And they were like, well, no. My mom was like, I don't want to live with you guys. After my grandparents had just bought in a brand new house for me and my mom to live in, for me to grow up with a decent upbringing. And so then my mom decided that was not the plan. So my father, my real father, decided, hey, if you give me custody of Raelynn, or just give me Raelynn, I will buy you a bus ticket so you can get away from your parents. And so at that moment, my mom had decided that she was going to give me up and go live with my stepfather, my now stepfather. And she did that. And then around the ages around 6 years old, I remember I would see my mom, but I don't remember much. And when I would go home, when I would, go to visit my mother and Jason and then my little brother, it was just very traumatic. I remember my stepfather would just get on top of me, kind of like he was like suffocating me. Like he would just lay on top of me, and I couldn't breathe, and I didn't know what was going on. And then my little brother would bite me, and they were very abusive, and so I would never want to go home to my mother. And so I'd always want to stay with my father. And then at some point, my mom decided that she wanted to get custody of me again and start her own family. And so then she had lied to the police. At least this is what I suspect.
So how old are you right now when she wanted?
At this age, I was around 6, 7. I was around 7 or 8. Maybe, no, I think I was 6, 7, somewhere around there.
Okay, yeah.
I think I was about to start second grade. And I knew I wanted to stay with my dad, and I just remember being ripped away from my dad, the police coming, and being ripped away and, trying to force a smile. I ran to the closet, actually, whenever I saw the police come because I didn't want to be with my mother. And then stepfather, my mom, around the ages of, I think it was 7, 8, she got diagnosed with cervical cancer, and that's kind of when the abuse had started.
I see.
Jason, my mom had also just had my little sister, and then she, got the cancer, and Jason would, take me to, it'd be in the hallway, and he would just kind of put my head near his genitalia. And like at that age, you don't really know what's going on. You're just kind of, this is weird, you know, I don't know what's going on. You're supposed to be like a father figure. I don't know. And I didn't know what was going on.
Of course not. You're so young.
Exactly. And then he would, then I kind of started realizing, okay, this is not what's supposed to be happening. And then I was like, okay, well, I have to go to the bathroom when I knew it was going to start. And I would run to the bathroom. And then he would go wherever. And my mom's still in the house at this point. She's in the back because she, you know, she just had surgery for cancer.
Can't believe that.
And so I would be like, I have to go to the bathroom because I just didn't know. And then he ran somewhere, got a condom, and then he'd come to the bathroom where I was and would make me give him oral sex. And I mean, at the time, again, I don't know what's going on, but I know this is wrong. And so then around the ages of 13, things progressed to more. And that's when I was like starting to get scared because my mom was then at this time working full time during the day. And he would be like, Raelynn, I'd be in the swimming pool with my little brother and sister. And he would be like, Raelynn, come to the bathroom. Or come to the back room. And
it's horrifying.
My siblings would be like, Raelynn, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. Probably having to go clean or something. Because I don't want them to know what's going on. Because I'm scared. Because he would tell me, like, if you say something, I'm going to kill your family. Or I'm going to kill you. And you're just, like, it's like you're stuck. And I mean, I would do whatever, and he'd be like, does this feel good? I'm like, no, I don't like this. And I would just freeze, and then he would, like, yell at me, and then I just remember, like, feeling so mortified, and then he would say things like, you're ugly, and, like, you're worthless, and all this other stuff.
Belittling you so you feel even more isolated, yeah.
Exactly, and so he would say things like that, and I mean, it still messes with me today. Like, I can't even.
I can't imagine.
Accept a compliment fully from someone, and he would. I don't know why I'm getting emotional right now.
Oh no, I am. Like, story is just a lot.
And so then he would. Things that progressed, and I don't like saying that he took my virginity because I don't like letting.
No, fuck that. You can't let him have that.
No. And so I just say he took a piece of me that should not have been taken at that young. And because then things progressed to even more. And, you know, he would even come in the middle of my room in the middle of the night, like at 2 a.m.
Oh my God.
And I would find him under my covers. And I'm trying to pretend that I'm sleeping. So I would roll around and move and freak out. And so then finally I decided that I can't do this anymore. I'm physically exhausted and I'm so stressed. So I decided to tell my mother.
Do you remember, like, what was the last straw? Like, or do you not really recall? Like, was it a certain day?
I just remember when he penetrated me, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, this is not something that's supposed to be happening. You're supposed to be a father figure. Like, this is not okay. Like, I have a little sister, and I don't want her to have to go through this stuff. And it still scares me to this day. Because my little sister still lives at home.
She's still down there, yeah.
I mean, I pray to God that he wouldn't do anything like that to her because she is only not. I mean, Jazzy's 13 now. No, she's about to be 13. You know, that's his flesh and blood. So I pray in the most craziest way that it wouldn't happen to her. I'd rather me take that.
It's
and,
so
just
mortifying.
Because I love my little sister. But yeah, I remember writing my mom a note saying, Jason's touching me inappropriately. And it said something along that line. I was like, I'm going to do it. And so they had some friends over, and they went back into the back room to get high because they would always go back and get high. I remember sneaking back there when they all went to the kitchen to go get some food, and I went and put it in my mom's purse. So if my mom saw it at work or something like that, turns out my mom, she did see it that night, and she called me, was yelling, and I could see she was hysterical. Like, I knew she was upset that this had happened to me, but, you know, so we drove around that night, and I remember vividly her and Jason yelling, and Jason was like, no, Jessica, don't leave me, like, I won't ever do it again, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, my God. I just can't imagine.
Him saying those kind of things, and I'm scared, like, shitless at this point, and honestly,
As
because I
anyone
don't
would
know
be.
what to do.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't want to die. I don't want him to take a gun to me. I just don't, and I was like, I should not have felt like I was breaking up my family, but I had every right, because I don't consider him a piece of my family, because
Of course.
that's not, and I don't think that's how family members should treat one another. And my mom then got in the car and we drove around to like 3 a.m. around Branson, because where I'm from, it's like 30 minutes from Branson. And I remember us driving around, and then she would be like, okay, so what do you want me to do? And she was like, well, do I leave him? And I was like, well, I think that's what you should do. I'm scared. And she was like, well, I don't know. I just don't want your siblings to grow up without a father like you had to.
Oh, that just makes me
And
so angry.
How
could like you react like that as a mom?
Exactly, and that's kind of what made me feel like, okay, well, I guess I'm not worth anything, for my own mom not to care.
Yeah.
And so it kind of stopped, but then like there'd be times where he'd be like, oh, I just want to check your head for lice or whatever, and then would pull my head down there and push my head close to his genitalia. And then he would, I would be sleeping in the middle of the night, and I would see him come into my room, and I would purposely tie my pajama pants, no matter how hot it was, even if it was the summertime. I would tie my pants as hard as they could, so he couldn't take them off. And I'm 16 at this point, and I'm trying to yell, but I can't.
Some girls have not even had their first kiss by now. The fact you had to worry about that stuff.
So he and I would try to do everything, and I remember I would want to scream and yell for help, but I was like, maybe if I just keep rolling around, he'll leave me alone. And then that's why I just don't like to go home very much, because it just brings back a lot of trauma for me.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to kind of be there, because I don't know, I guess I don't feel like I was wanted by my own mother, and then but it's hard because I want to see my little sister, and I want to love on her and give her all the love in the world, and make sure she knows that if anything, I don't want to tell her what happened, because I don't think I could get the words out.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Explain. I haven't even told my little brother. And it's just scary to think, what if that did happen to my little brother and he just never spoke out. But
right. And you're close to Jason's mom too, aren't you? That's your grandma, and she doesn't know either.
Well, and speaking of that, on top of that, so I guess my mom, she decided to call me the past few weeks, and she was like, well, I think Jason and I are getting a divorce.
No, and really?
And
what?
Yeah, this was this last week, Claire.
I didn't even know. What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She called me, and she was like, well, I think me and Jason are getting a divorce. And I was like, honestly, I was in the rudest way. I was like, well, it's about time. You should have done that. And I was like, you never should have married him, because after I had told her, he had not even thought about, he didn't want marriage with my mother, didn't want anything. And then after I had told her about what happened,
he proposed, right?
He proposed.
That's ridiculous.
And my mom had called, and then yesterday, actually, she was like, I think you need to tell your grandma Kathy, Jason's mom, about what Jason did to you. And I was like, you don't get to control that. I was like, because I had to keep that bottled up for so long.
Right.
I was like, if I want grandma Kathy to know, I will tell her. But I was like, you do not get
the right
or anything like that. And I was like, I know exactly, I didn't say this, but I was like, I know exactly what she's doing. I was like, you're just being manipulative, and you want me to say something so you can get custody of my sister. And I was like, I think it's bullcrap, because you did not choose me. You chose Jason from day one, from taking that bus ticket. So
exactly.
It's frustrating, because as much, and I will say I do have a big heart, and I let people walk all over me. And it's hard, because I want to let my mom in. I want a mom. I'm so envious of people who get to have a really close relationship with their mom.
Oh no, trust me. Me and you have talked about it, and I couldn't agree more. Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, I go over to people's houses, and you just look at how functional their family is sometimes, and you're envious, you're jealous, but in the end, you are an amazing person, and you're shaped so well because of this, and I don't wish this upon anyone, and you don't deserve any of it, but at the same time, it's everything does happen for a reason, and I just hope that he gets the karma he deserves,
Yeah, I pray that something happens, and for God's on God's green earth, or
Yeah.
whatever the saying is, that he gets the justice. But it's also like, it's sad because within our justice system, they couldn't do anything because it happened for so long ago. The only person that would step forward, which also, like, it's not really that I'm the only person, because I remember, so my mom has a mother. She doesn't have a very close relationship with her real mother and my aunt. But my aunt's very carefree. Honestly, we're the same person.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just very go with the flow. We like to have fun. And my aunt said, I want to go home early from the trip. And my grandma, Lisa, was like, why? And she was like, well, Jason's just giving me really creepy vibes. I don't think I can be around this. And so she was like, well, I don't know. And then come to find out, so my mom stopped her relationship with her real mother and her sister, because Jason tried to do something to Amber, my aunt. And I was
Really?
like, it's, about this, it's a cycle. And she still to this day, the other day when she called, I tried saying, well, do you think something's happened? Do you think what he did to me happened to your sister? But Amber, she was 22 at this time, when I last saw them.
I see.
And my mom's like, well, no, I don't think that. I think she's just in denial that, obviously other people get creepy vibes. Even my best friend growing up, she even said that, how Jason gave her creepy vibes. And, I would catch him looking at my friends when I would bring them over, staring at their butts and stuff like that.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I just wanted to scream and yell. And, a lot of my friends would be like, Raelynn, why don't you have people over? And I'm like, well, I don't want to. But of course I couldn't. I come from such a small town. If I was to speak, say something, they would look at me weird.
Right.
Or, they would look at me as, the cry me woe. And I'm not someone who's, I don't take pity or anything like that. Obviously, I went through some stuff and very traumatic things, abuse and sexual abuse and all that. But, I'm not gonna, I just don't like to be looked down on, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I never spoke about my problems until college. Throughout high school, I was just yeah, I try to be perfect on the outside, and it's not realistic, especially when you have to deal with trauma.
Exactly. If you looked at my social media, you would think, oh, pretty little sorority girl. But if you actually know the deeper side, then you know that, oh wow, there's actually a lot of things that she struggles with. And that's why I get so frustrated. Some freshman girl the other day was saying how sororities are stupid, and I was literally please don't ever say that again, because if it was not for my sorority, I would not be able to speak out.
I cannot relate more. I know there are stereotypical things to sororities, but honestly, the people I've met in mine, they've changed my life, and they've helped me deal with all my problems and trauma, so I can relate very hard to that.
I would not have been able to tell my grandparents, and I finally just told my grandparents this summer. Completely told them everything that had happened. I will say it was because of my sorority and them giving me that backbone that I really needed, and my significant other being you need to come to terms with things.
Yes, of course. So basically, after you told your mom, you're 17, right? And then after that, nothing really happened. She didn't make anything change. So did you deal with that and go through high school and then graduate, and then your escape was college, or did you just get out of that immediately?
So my escape was college. It was, I'm just gonna leave this place and I'm not gonna look back. And the last time I was back was for my friend's funeral. It was for his funeral, and that was still giving me so much stress. And then well, actually, I lied. I also went back for homecoming because I was homecoming queen, and I had to give the crown of my freshman year.
Yeah.
But this time, I was dating my significant other, and him and one of his best friends, they went down with me, and Logan was like, Raelynn, why are you shaking? And I was like, I'm just really anxious.
As anyone would be, yeah, if they were you.
And so it was just, I was kind of stressed because also high school was okay, but not really. Even though I was homecoming queen, prom queen, it still wasn't the most prettiest place. My high school was one of those small judgy schools, and there's just a lot of pettiness. So
after all that's happened, how do you cope? What advice would you give to people who need coping with their trauma? I
just think the only thing is you can take it day by day. I tried the whole keeping a journal. That really did nothing for me. My thing is just, like, the more you talk about it, the more it becomes real. Even if that means sitting in your mirror and talking about it to yourself, that helped me because I was like, okay, I can actually speak about this, and I need to speak about this because it's not okay what happened, and I don't want it to happen to some other girl or some younger person because, you know, like, we come from a generation that's, like, the me generation, and everything's about me, where, like,
Yes.
they cope with things on social media, but just because you cope with it on social media does not mean you're actually coping with it. Now, it is like I'm a advocate of the Finsta because that's where I go if I need to, like, just if I would say if you were to cope with it, like, through the social media, only put people who, like, who give you that joy. That, like, I have a few friends on there that I know that I could count on for anything, and if I'm saying something, like, they're not going to say anything to anyone else about it. Like, they're going to keep it with me, or they'll come knocking on my apartment door saying, Raelynn, what are you doing? Are you okay?
No, I agree so much. Like, social media is so toxic nowadays. It's like everyone just is trying to look perfect, and, like, when I started talking about stuff in real life for the first time, it was so hard. It was like I almost, like, lied about the stories I had, and, like, I was, like, getting, like, you know, beating around the bush, but I don't know. Once you start talking about it, it's like you can start dealing with it internally too, because you say it out loud. It's not like it's haunting you.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I mean, I couldn't agree with that more because, I mean, I could even say with my social media day, it just shows, like, the highlights of my life. Like, it doesn't show the lowlights.
Same.
But I'm also, like, I don't want everyone to see my lowlights because I don't want someone to see the low parts of my life that I'm not close with.
Yeah, because you're praising your, you know, high moments.
Exactly. And, like, I also love being able to look back and be like, okay, wow, I was so happy at this point. I need to get back to this person. And it's kind of like a reality check to me, though, at the same time. However, like, I'll also just catch myself scrolling, and then I'll see, like, the perfect little family, and I'm just like, why couldn't I have? Or, like, when I will, like, read the Bible or anything like that, I'm like, why did I have to go through this? Like,
yeah,
what did I do so wrong? And I hate doing that to myself because I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong.
You did
I was
nothing.
Just in a crappy environment.
Oh, of course. No, I agree completely. So do you have any final words or anything you'd like to say other than the questions I gave?
I just think that, like, the only thing I could say is just be true to yourself. And, like, if you have problems, like, there's therapists, there's plenty of ways to, like, go get help, and, like, don't feel afraid to, like, tell someone. Like, I mean, I was stuck, and I know it's hard to tell someone because you're stuck.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
literally freeze up. And it's just sad because our society today, like, there's so many people who are pedophiles and, like, you know, child molesters, rapists, all of that, sex traffickers. Like, there's so much danger, and it's just, if you feel endangered in any way, like, I think the best thing you can do is just go tell someone, even if it means telling the Casey's cashier that, like, hey, something's going on. I need someone to talk to that's non-biased, because it's not okay to hold those things inside. And, like, when you keep holding those demons, like, that's when, one, they get to win, and that's not fair for them winning because they're taking a piece of you that never should have been taken in the first place. I think that's my only final thoughts. But I also, like, want to say that, like, you can get through anything. You know, you just have to keep, like, a strong head on your shoulders and know that, like, they're not going to get to ruin my day. I'm not going to let them ruin my day because I'm living my life and I'm in a completely content place in my life right now.
Of course.
And so that's kind of why I choose, like, not to let, you know, any of that stuff or, like, the demons try and get to me. I don't mean, like, demons, like, but, like.
No, I know what you mean. I say that too.
Yeah, the, like, bad thing.
Well, Raelynn, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Your story is one that hits really hard, and you're so brave for sharing it. I know so many people appreciate it more than you know. I know it's hard.
Thanks, buddy. I'm so happy you let me on here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. You're my first friend on here. Like, it's so, oh my gosh, I love it. I can't wait to post it. All right, I'm going to hop off and get to it so I can publish it tonight. But yeah, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, pal. I can't wait for our next Mizzou game.
I know, I can't wait. We're going to rage. We're going to celebrate the podcast accordingly. Okay, thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
All right,
bye.
bye.